I am looking at you and you are looking at me because you have been chosen. And the reason you know you've been chosen is because your decisions, the decisions you are making right now in this moment, have guided you here the way I have been guided here along with you. So before we go any further, embrace yourself as chosen, for we will talk about decisions that will continue to expand on your chosenness and provide you a life that at minimum standards you can be proud of and continue to build on. And what I want to use to leverage this talk, as I've been deep in scripture lately, albeit still conflicted on the whole religious myth, is the power of Moses, who made decision after decision after decision, like you, which led to what could be described as somewhat successful experience. So Moses, at the core level, as he was born, a decision that was outside of his decision making, or at least the authority to do so, was that all males in his bloodline, the Hebrew bloodline, would be drowned in a river. Moses, his mother, obviously fearful that this would be Moses's destiny, put Moses into an ark, kind of hid him in some bushes, and lo and behold, the Pharaoh who made the decision to kill off the male bloodline of Hebrews, his sister, found Moses and brought him in to be raised as an Egyptian. Why does this make sense for you? First and foremost, the initial decision that may have gotten you to wherever you are, whether you're being raised in glory and in richness, or you were sent off and cast away to die the slowest of deaths. The decision that got you to where you are is likely wrapped in generational ineptitude. The curses, the environments, the mindsets, the poverty-driven, almost static-filled, you are not able, equipped, or good enough, was handed down to you. Either way, like Moses, something was initially chosen for you as you came into the light. And so here you sit, struggling with decisions to make the most of yourself. And I get how that's a dark place to be. So what is the first decision that you have to make right now in order to make the most of yourself? What I would say is this: the first decision you are struggling to make is to disrupt your world, to disrupt your current world. You are where you are for whatever the reasons. You're feeling like something is off. Something just doesn't make sense. Something doesn't align with what you believe you were chosen to be. And it could be that in this process of struggling, you are like Moses and perched up in what could be described as a very comfortable situation. Yes, you might not be raised in royalty as Moses was, but certainly wherever you are today, the fear you have to not make the decision to disrupt your world is because you are absolutely comfortable in your world. Yes, the hierarchy of needs that apply to your survival, even at the most instinctive and basic of levels, that is what you have come to accept. And now you must disrupt your world. In order to disrupt your world for the betterment of your life, there is criteria that is critical and crucial to your evolution as part of this decision-making process. Leveraging Moses again, his discomfort went away the minute that he chose to kill a man who was mistreating a slave. I get that that's extreme, but consider this. When Moses performed this act, not only did he kill a man, but in the process of making this decision, he effectively killed the man he used to be. So the decision you are left to make to truly disrupt your world is to kill whomever it is you currently are being. And maybe it's not all the way, but there are levels and criteria in which you can make a strong decision to start this process. Generally, around the physical, mental, and spiritual components. Physically, you might need to make a decision to disrupt everything you do physically to better enhance your body. As far as your mindset, you might need to develop new skills to disrupt everything about who you are from a skill set perspective today. Spiritually, you might need to eliminate everything you think about God today and choose to follow a new spiritual path. Eventually, it may require all these things, but for now, think of this disruption, this decision to disrupt, as you packing your bags and going on a journey in the direction of becoming something new in one aspect of your life. Do it today. Make that decision. Second decision you are struggling with is you are focused on image richness. And this comes back to the basic philosophy of as within, so without. So if you're focused on the without, if you're focused on the external imagery of what the richness of life offers, then you'll never have a goal that you can truly satisfy yourself with. Let's leverage Moses again. As he attempted to free his people, the intent was to get his people the land which was destined for them, which was the land of milk and honey. Wouldn't you know that after all the work that Moses put in, apparently 40 plus years in the desert, parting the Red Sea, the battles with the Pharaoh, everything that he did to go from somebody in richness back to a nobody, fully bare and naked, back out into the world as a chosen person of God, and he didn't make it to the land of milk and honey. It's not to suggest that all the richness you desire is not intended for you. It is to suggest, though, that if all you are focused on is material imagery, the wealth of the outside world, it'll never suffice. It'll break you down internally, which is where all the work needs to be done. If you focus on image richness within, then image richness without will always be revealed to you. The third and final decision you are struggling with is faith in self. And I get that this is immensely hard and likely the fundamental breakdown of all of our processes. Faith in self is scary, dark, and alone. And actually making it out of this space just within itself, regardless of what you actually achieve or don't achieve, but the decision to move forward and forthright, I get it. Continuing to leverage Moses. Moses got to yield the stick of God. He went up against the Pharaoh, as I had referenced recently, and put forward 10 different plagues that inevitably led to the freeing of his people. The main takeaway for me is this. You can leverage the stick of God within yourself, in his imagery, in that you are in his image as it is within you. The light within simply needs to reveal itself. And faith in self, like anything else, like any other skill, character trait, or destiny, has to be built, has to be developed, has to absolutely be a central focus in order for you to maximize it and use it till its full potentiality. Life is a subset of decision-making processes. Every decision you take and every decision you don't take or make has a result either way. The choice ultimately is yours. The choice and decision to do, the choice and decision not to do, for whatever the reasons, will leave you always where you are destined to be. For you have been chosen. And the choice now is to continue to choose for yourself. Change your mind, change your life. I am who I say I am. Stay rich.